Hey folks, so I've said it before, I'll say it again. The nice thing about owning a brick and mortar store is that people bring stuff to you and you don't even have to hustle or dig or whatever. It just walks through the door. And today, that was the case. A customer, a good friend, came in today and I hadn't seen him in ages, and he brought in two red crates of milk crates full of records. And I was surprised because he does collect, and I knew he sold records himself. He'd set up at record shows and also sold some stuff on Discogs over the years. But basically, he said ever since Discogs changed their shipping policy, which became fairly complex, he just sort of said done. And so these ones he just brought in and was like, you know what, this is what I had left that I hadn't got around to selling yet. So yeah, I picked it up. I'll tell you what I paid at the end. It was more than fair in terms of, on my side of things. But he was pretty happy because he told me his price right from the beginning before I started looking through. And yeah, I think there's 92 records. So yeah. Stick around till the end. If you want to subscribe, that'd be cool, but you don't have to. This stuff's for free, so get on it. But it'd be cool if you did, but you don't have to. Again, so we'll start off. A lot of this stuff, because I am in Canada, is going to be Canadian pressings, but there's also some German, US, quite a few sealed records in here too, which is kind of cool. For those of you who have asked, so this mannequin over here is just that. It's a shirt mannequin. People have often wondered if I had some, interesting kink going on, but it isn't. It's just a mannequin over in the corner. So here we go. Cure 12-inch. This is one of the maxi singles, Let's Go to Bed. Really nice pickup because Cure sells quickly. Bowie's Loving the Aliens, which this record came from, always kind of gets overlooked, and his later stuff was pretty good. And Loving the Aliens is one of my tracks, and I think actually my first concert ever, like big stadium concert, was for the Glass Spider tour, which a lot of these tracks were for. It's a sealed copy of Cat Stevens' Catch a Bull, which is kind of nice. Oops, not doing the good camera work there. Downtown Blues Band. Now, not everything on here is like a heavy hitter, but it's all stuff that'll eventually sell, so I wasn't gonna cherry pick, as it were. This is an interesting one. It's a copy of Hey Jude, but it is an Italian copy, which I don't have, so that might end up just staying in my collection. Creedence, I can sell that all day long. Oh, and he told me beforehand, he's like, none of these skip or jump. He's like, they're almost all VG plus or cleaner. And yeah, I haven't gone through every single one yet. But generally, yeah, he was dead on with that. And he already pre-cleaned them all because he was thinking he was going to sell them. City Boy, it's sealed, but it is a delete. Got the delete cutout on there. Cat Stevens, again, another sealed Cat Stevens, and this one has the hype sticker with the extra booklet from Numbers. Again, a record that a lot of people overlook in Cat Stevens' canon. It's actually pretty good. What we got here? Oh, Alice Cooper's Love It to Death, this 118. It does not have the penis cover, as it's called, where he is sticking his thumb through. But still, great record. Speaking of like great, Easy Action is such a good, it's so psychedelic and so like garagey, and it's a really good record. I love this record. I'm not like a huge Alice Cooper fan, I will fully admit that, but I really do like that record quite a bit. Alice's Welcome to My Nightmare. Television Marquee Moon, not an original pressing, but I think, I haven't gone through it yet, it is one of the Rhino reissues. Super cool. It's really clean too. So yeah, Allman Brothers, Fillmore East, Clapton, Pink Floyd's Animals, great record. A sealed copy of what is that? Exile? Yeah. Eagles' Greatest Hits, constant seller. Like it whenever I get it in, it's gone. Their Eagles' Greatest Hits, same thing. Sweet Echo and the Bunnymen earlier, Crocodiles, great record. AC/DC's Back in Black. The Grand Wazoo, not gonna lie, not a huge, don't really know that much about the Grand Wazoo. So there you go. Maybe I'll figure that out. Creedence, Queen. These are all bread and butter stuff from me. Roy Harper, that's a little more interesting. Home, again, another interesting record. You know, it doesn't come out too often. I think they were a UK band. Jack Bruce, bass player for Cream, vocalist. Blue Oyster Cult, Vinnie Vincent, some hair metal there. Cano is like, not a huge thing, but I think they were like kind of like a proggy band from, I believe, Quebec. Yeah, and that one is also sealed. Now, he did say these are later sealed editions. He's not a big Tragically Hip fan, and he won these at like a door prize, and it was 4 sealed Hip records. He's never opened them because he had no interest. These are the 2017 ones. When he told me he had no interest in this, I was surprised because little known fact, and I'll tell this to my American and UK friends, international watchers. Here in Canada, every year we have to have basically a test to maintain your Canadian citizenship. And if you don't pass that test, you then basically lose your Canadian citizenship for a year before you can retry again. And 3 tries, you're out. We put you on an ice floe, and out you go into the Arctic. It's a little known fact. But one of the tests with the actual Hip is that the citizenship test is that you actually have to know all the lyrics to the Tragically Hip song Bob Cajun, which may or may not be true. So yeah, this is the 2017 reissue. They were remastered. Look at that, made in Canada. Kraftwerk. This is Capitol original pressing, which is kind of nice to come along because it's getting harder and harder to find Kraftwerk records. Sealed Phantom Power 2017. Sealed Live Hip, Live Between Us, which was a thing. Tragically Hip, great live band, like undeniable. So and this is In Between Evolution. They were all sealed. This is kind of interesting too, which is Master Jack, which is like a 60s, I think they were South African, kind of like sunshine pop. Really great. Interesting to check this out because I don't come across test pressings very often, and this one is like Jawabble, and so I'm gonna have to do a little more research on it. It'll go into my collection, this one, because it's just that unusual. Blue Peter, still got the hype sticker. Might even be sealed still. No, it just has the hype sticker and the shrink wrap on there. John Cale, what are you going to do? You can't go wrong with a John Cale record. Schnitt Acht. I hope I'm saying that wrong. It's a single fire. It's a 12-inch single. They're like industrial, sort of metal-y type stuff. Rock City Angels. I think they were like an 80s, sort of like Guns N' Roses type, not quite hard, but more bluesy. It's a double LP on Virgin though, so I mean, they committed. They went all in. I think it's still in the shrink there too. Sealed copy of the Guess Who's, so that's kind of good to have. Heaven Up Here. I actually don't have a copy of this, and it's the last in the Echo collection that I don't have, so that's going into my collection. Oh, Bert, probably one of the greatest guitar players that came out of the UK, and I know there's a lot out there to sort of compare it with, but man, like, just so good. Echo's Porcupine, that'll go quick. The Babies, it's sealed, so that's good. Bad Company, Bebop Deluxe, copy of the Smiths. What is this, the Panic single? It's the Panic single. It's Canadian pressing, but still, I can't keep Smiths to save my life. Wilson Pickett, can't really say too much about that other than it's one of the best albums and everybody should have one of the copy. Sweet Tim Buckley. Again, I don't have I don't have this one, and I love Tim Buckley, so that one's probably going to end up in my collection. Bebop Deluxe. That one is actually sealed. It's cracked open a little bit, but it is still sealed. Bob Willis. What wrong is this? This is Led Zeppelin 2. It is a Canadian red label, which means it's an early pressing. Probably not a first, but certainly an early pressing, and everyone is always here in Canada chasing the red labels. And then there's another one, Tim Buckley, Look at the Fool. I actually do have a copy of that, so that one might actually someday make it out in the store. Good Lord, that is some terrible camera work there, Jay. Okay, so here comes the rest. This, I believe, is a German pressing of Master and Servant. I have a copy of this, and I didn't take it out to show, so I'm going to try my darndest here to do this in a way to show that, yeah, it came on marble vinyl back in the day. Platten und Marble. I'm not even going to try, but there you go. It's right there. So for friends over in Germany, you know what it is. This is Doggy Style, and this is one of their, it's a screen printed record, and you can sort of get an idea what's going on in there. I think they were like were they Southern Cal hardcore band, like punk band. Broken Bones, UK punk band. Grace Slick and the Great Society. So this is like the pre-Jefferson Airplane. So these guys broke up, and I think half went on to, with Grace, went on to join the Jefferson Airplane and took their songs like White Rabbit and Somebody to Love with them. So for those who don't know, this was obviously, I think this is a live record. I think it was recorded at some of their shows, but I can't remember honestly. Floyd's Dark Side is like bread and butter. The nice thing about this one is it has 2 posters with it, not the stickers, but at least 2 of the posters. Really nice shape too. Johnny Winter, Kisses First, Kinks, Sleepwalker. Not one of their better records, I'm not gonna lie. I actually kind of do like it, but it's not one that everybody searches for. But this is a sealed copy. So Neil Young, Zuma, Symphonic Slam. It's kind of like proggy, synthy type stuff. How's that for descriptive? Classic with John Barleycorn, Must Die from Traffic, Tower of Power, Bump City. I mean, this is so, apt, because this thing is so greasy. It is so funky. It's good. This is Foghat, Stone Blue, and it says it's on blue wax, and I did not check. So it might be on blue wax, it might not be. Probably is. I don't know what this is. Before Foghat? Yeah, there you go. Fats Domino, that's an Imperial. Looks like it's a UK pressing by the looks of it. No, distributed in London, Canada. So that is a very, very clean early pressing. David Bowie's Lodger. This is, I've said it before, I will say it again. Sadly, somebody wrote a little bit on there, but we'll see if we can get that off. One of the most overlooked Bowie records. It's good. If you don't own it, you should get it. This is kind of cool. I didn't even know that this was a thing, but it's 2 originals and Mother's Invention. And when you open it up, it's Weasels Worth My Flesh and Burnt Weenie Sandwich, which those records are really tough to track down in their early original pressings. But this is sort of like a twofer. I think it was like mid-1970s when this came out. So that's kind of interesting. I might end up keeping that myself. Not sure. Gay Bikers on Acid, Drill Your Own Hole. I think it's just a 12-inch. Cool. Harry Chapin, classic, sealed. David Peel on the Lower East Side, The Pope Smokes Dope. I actually have a copy of this in the store already, but, you know, what am I going to do? Bob Dylan's Live at Budokan, 2-record set. For some reason, he had 2 of these, both 2 Nash the Slash records. For those of you who don't know, Nash started off in FM and then eventually released some solo stuff. Really interesting, cool stuff. Violin run through like synth processors. It's pretty awesome things. Plus, he wrapped himself in bandages. It's good. I'm going to not be able to pronounce it right, but I believe it is L'Étranger. They were a Toronto kind of alternative-y, not quite punk, but certainly, you know, alternative, kind of like college rock. This is was an independent release one. Andrew Cash is in this band. Kind of hard to track down, actually. Here's another one that's it's like post-wave, dark wave, I believe 80, oh, I can't remember when this came out, but it's from a band called Kinetic Ideals out of Burlington, Ontario. I grew up in Burlington, so these guys were kind of known to me. Really great sort of dark synthy stuff. If you're into like some of the slower Joy Division tracks, this is where you probably want to go. Ducks Deluxe, I don't know who they are. Doggy Style, another one from the band. I love that Dogtown on there. Another Doggy Style, sort of SoCal punk. Sky Cries Mary, TVA, classic Soft Cell. Scott Matthews, not super familiar with Scott Matthews. What is that there? I don't know what that is. Don't know who Push Twangers are. It's a great name. It is sealed, I believe, and it's Don't Be Afraid. Don't know anything about them, not gonna lie. Steel Eye Span, and then Straub's Deadlines, that one's sealed. Phil Ox, yeah, I don't know. No, yeah, that's just a good 2-record set. Jethro's Tull Stand Up. Led Zeppelin's first one. It is a reissue probably from the 1980s. Canadian reissue from the 1980s on this stripe thing. Frank Zappa's Joe's Garage Acts 2 and 3. So 92 records, pretty decent stuff. No like crazy rarities in there, but lots of good bread and butter stuff. And when he came in, he told me at the beginning what he wanted, and it was 300 Canadian dollars. So for my American friends, that's about roughly somewhere just under $2, near $2 a record. And for my UK friends, let me see, what is that? About £1.50. Yeah. So I think that's pretty good, like really good. I was very pleased when he said that. And you know what, he threw in the 2 crates as well, which is, you know, they're selling for like $10 a piece anyways. So I get a bunch of decent stock. That's, you know, bread and butter, nothing crazy rare in here. But what is that? That's like, what is the Value Village charge up here now for record? Is it $2.99? I think it is $2.99. So just imagine that you walked into the Value Village and found all these. You'd lose your mind. You couldn't be able to gather them up fast enough. So yeah, I was really pleased with that overall. And again, you know, thanks Discogs for making it difficult for people to sell, confusing to sell online, because I probably wouldn't have ended up with these. And yeah, but I'm glad I did. So that is it for this week. Hope you all are able to find some good records in over the next couple of weeks, heading into Christmas. It is the 1st of December. Good Lord, that came up quick. So yeah, hope you're all having a good day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.